and we are on let's see, Ultraviolet Grasslands. Episode what are we on? This is episode 10, I think, right? My notes. Yeah, this is session 10. We missed last week, but the week before, let's see, we had the main event was coming back from the Putrid Crater with some frogs in tow and running into Farfallon and her Vome caravan with the bio horses and a dozen vomed up rainbow landers,
which we dispatched
we
with
just
haste.
massacred them. Mostly thanks to that radiation gun you traded in.
Yep, definitely
Good investment, and a bunch of tragic missiles. So yeah, that was taken care of.
I need a cool gun like that. Mine's boring. Mine's just a regular old pew pew gun.
Yeah,
I only have a few arms.
I think so. We made it to the Citadel last time, right?
We did.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Germina Turgenesty Blue Lander might help with the Vome infection. Shirt 7 extension meta ritual to unify Adoron. Vome is the cool. And I think this is where we are dropping off Magazine and Apate, and they're going to be hanging out at the Citadel. So we'll take them off the caravan sheet and promote Adoron up here. Cool. Anything else that you all remember from last time that you want to talk about?
So I do want to expand upon some of the things that I learned, and then I went and did research using the actual game materials.
Yeah.
To get a better sense of what things were available to manage a Vome infection.
Yeah.
I also, does anybody have any idea what the speed of the infection is? Like how long it takes for the Vome to take you over?
Speed of fiction, pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
So whatever we feel like is appropriate for us. We don't want you to immediately Vome out.
Yeah. Well,
the pressure. So
right. I was wondering too if the guards would actually let me past.
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I think they have let you pass. So I think the infection has not manifested yet. So it's still inside.
Right.
Yeah. I think you have some time before
okay. So what I discovered during research was two different things. Let's see what I have down. So there is a treatment that's used for people who have vomish accessories attached to their body.
Yep.
And there is another thing called, let me bring it back up, called Purifying Fire. It is a 1-week sentient nano animalcule swarm which purges your system.
Ooh.
Apparently it's rare, and it will purge any disease or infection, and it costs 300, whatever the units
cash.
are.
Yeah.
Cash. Yeah, 300 cash.
Where are we seeing that?
Where did I see that? That's a good question. Which so I found that in, I have to figure out which guide I was looking at. Maybe the main guide, but
let's see if I find there. What was it called again?
It is called Purifying Fire.
Purifying Fire. Oh, there it is.
You got it?
Page 195 in the main book.
Right.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So, first of all, I wasn't 100% certain that works.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does work, Partly I was trying to figure out, the speed that the infection moves at. This is just
Mhm. I mean, you have time to do treatments and stuff. It's not
right.
an immediate rage virus
Uh,
thing.
okay. So, and I don't know since Phaedron's not here today, if we are going to go out to the silver pool or not.
Yeah, you can totally do that if you want. Phaedra can be in the background, shadowed.
Well, I'm not sure we want that. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
I know we
so
can do it.
yeah, so here's the question. So you're in the third week of Violet Month.
Right.
Travel is hard now.
Okay.
And there will be one more week, and then the month after that is Snowbringer, in which travel is grueling and freezing.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to try to grab the sample, bring it back to the Serai before winter, or do you want to hang out here and either A, try to travel during winter, or wait it out?
So my first question is, well, two things. Is it possible that the purifying fire is mobile and I can take it with me?
Mm. I think that is going to be a spa treatment,
Yeah,
kind
that's what
of.
I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be hanging out somewhere. I imagine they would have it. I don't think they would have it at the Citadel. Sarai seems like a prime candidate for a place that would have.
Okay, so it's more likely to be at the Sarai.
Yeah, yeah. Sarai is a much larger
Okay.
situation.
Because my logic is, I figure that if we go do the silver thing, that like I have some chance of being reinfected,
Mm,
and there's no point in paying for an expensive cure and then getting reinfected. So if it's at the Sarai, that works out very
yeah,
well.
and the silver stuff masks bone symptoms.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm aware of that. I've heard that from little tiny birds
Yep.
with extra mechanical parts. Um, so yeah, we probably should do the silver pool. I do have some things I want to purchase.
Cool.
I have quite a bit of money because I haven't been spending any
Yeah,
money.
y'all are flush right now.
Yeah,
In fact, you
we're a
are you
lot,
are
but
so flush that I think we need to start keeping track of how we're carrying the money. I think
oh, okay.
2,500 is a sack's worth of money. So spend what you like, and then we'll figure it out when we get on the road.
Okay. So my shopping list is where is my shopping list? Where is my shopping list? Um, let me close one thing and then it'll
Is there
be.
the equivalent of like banks in this game, or is it just like you just carry everything
Oh,
on you?
um, yes. um, so there's a few ways we can take care of that, right? There's nothing mechanically there, so I think what that means is talking to people here. I think in large settlements like the Citadel, like the Serai, Violet City for sure, there will be people who can take care of something like this for you. Um, you're probably not going to get interest unless you invest in something, which carries risk. Or you can buy more expensive tiny things that you can carry with you. Um, that has its own friction.
And you said to set up a quote unquote milk run was 10,000. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the base to start off with.
Because I still, my goal is to get my great bean empire going.
Yeah, and if you wanted to invest some in, I mean, winter is coming, so that's going to be rough to get beans back and forth now. So, but you could, I mean, it's not going to be a milk run, but you could invest some and say, travel slowly and safely to
Hmm.
the bean farm. We will meet you here in the spring.
Just keeping my options in my.
Yeah.
I've only got 650, so
Yeah, I mean, and there's
close to on the way to 10,000.
like 6,700 in the caravan as well if we want to invest that. There's money available for y'all.
Gotcha. So I'm going to list off some items and I'll explain my goal.
Yeah,
So first of all, I want to buy a samovar for coffee and tea.
fantastic.
I want to buy some pillows and rugs of calming and comfortable demeanor. I want to buy a couple of tea varieties that are pleasant but not necessarily expensive.
Mhm.
I want to buy at least a little bit of blue space cake because I'm planning on using that myself, maybe. A little bit of cat coffee because people with cultured taste may want some cat coffee.
Mhm.
And then, oh, actually, it's well, and some yellow brain shoes. So I was looking at the stuff. So my purpose here, and then I want to buy a um, a tent or pavilion. So my goal, um, and I was hoping to explain this to Phaedra, was I'm going to contribute to the caravan, not necessarily by creating income, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a pavilion wherever we stop that's got people.
Mm.
I am going to offer a space for people to lounge and have pleasing conversation.
Mm.
And that I'm not going to charge them anything, like it's going to be exchange. So if we have pleasing conversation and both sides are happy, that's fine. If somebody wants to give me like a broken toy, that's probably fine. You know, Adoron, he's sort of flexible about, value.
Literally. Yeah.
My purposes are severalfold. One, I think that it actually may help the caravan in that it will draw people to the caravan so that they will get, attention,
Mhm.
not out on the road. We don't need extra attention on the road. Um, and then the other thing is, I think by having a place where people from all different, walks of life can, drop in and chat, that I might learn interesting things.
Interesting. Yeah.
Since my one of my well, since my background is as a protocol expert,
Mhm.
it's time to put my protocols to use in a more public setting.
Cool. Cool. I like that. Yeah, go ahead and buy all that stuff.
Okay.
Um, I think so. Tell me about the tea and I think the space cake. That's probably yes, that's probably fine to buy. Let me make a quick roll for just where'd my roller go? Just to see like what the markets markets are like
Sure.
right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just tell me how much I need to pay for all of this because
Yeah,
I don't know with some of it, there aren't any specific prices. I have enough money that I can pretty much set the whole thing up, I think, except for maybe the pavilion. And I'm not trying to have a giant pavilion, just a fairly,
yeah, just what you can carry.
yeah.
Um, and some, yeah, and I think like a lot of that's going to be like in a traveler's kit, I think. Um,
Okay.
so you can basically you'll pack all that into like one sack of stuff.
Okay.
Um, it'll cost probably right now um like 250 I think altogether.
Okay.
um and that'll take a little bit of time to get and all that. um but yeah, and so you can pack that up into a sack worth of stuff
Okay.
and unpack it, and it'll probably that'll be like your week of hanging out and doing stuff at a destination.
Okay.
um I do think that will take a week to get together all of those things here.
Okay. So I should probably do that at the Serai then
Yeah,
instead
the
of.
Serai is probably a great place to do that too, and it might be
Okay.
cheaper there.
Gotcha.
Modan, do you want to talk to someone about your bean stuff?
Good question. I feel like I'm still kind of getting a handle on this game. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so most of the time I'm going, I don't know. I'm just kind of following everybody around, having adventures. Uh, but yeah, I think, he's always looking to spread the word of the bean and the love of the bean. I don't know. I've just been saving up my money for that
Yeah.
investment someday.
So it was, let's see, Endure Six Body was the guy here who will buy beans. Uh,
Hmm.
and I think we
He loves
talked
beans now.
loves and beans. Who was that? Can I write down someone's name? That is from there. There was someone from the if you look at the Porcelain Citadel map, there's the houses of many colors. I don't know if we've had a particular person. I can create a broker for you if we want to have someone consistent. In fact, there we are, Astia Darange. If you want a bean broker, Astia Darange will help you. I'll write that down.
Do you remember? Okay, no, I think I just remembered. I was trying to remember my last advancement. I remembered I kind of wanted to learn some magic, and I couldn't remember if I've spent it or not, but I think I did. I think that's what that one of three friends thing. I think I started working on the
Oh yeah,
friends.
yeah.
Or is that
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
do with an advancement? Is that an advancement thing?
No,
Advancements,
that's
you get a
training.
new skill. Training is you train a skill
Training.
and train it 3 times, and that's
I don't remember if I well, it doesn't matter. I can't remember if I did my last advancement or not. Is training so training is not something you would do as an advancement?
no training something you do like while you're hanging out. It takes a
Okay.
week, and then
So I
you
did that.
roll for however many things you get.
Interesting.
Did you bump up a stat, or did you take your traveler to expert? Is that what you did?
I did that at some point, but I'm level 3, so I should. Okay, wait, yeah, I think that's right. My first
Yeah, and you
advancement, I
got
took pleasant,
Yeah.
and then I took traveler. That would account
Yeah,
for
very
2
good.
advancements, right? Okay, cool. I just had that memory of being like, "Ooh, I kind of want to learn magic," and was like, "What happened with that?" I guess I just decided to take the easy path.
Yeah.
So even though Pedro's not here, can we look into buying the fruits? We were very successful with fruits the last time we went to the
That's
Serai.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is where fruits are from, so we can definitely get those here.
Okay.
Let me pop open my big map. Big map. Boom. Cool. So we are at the Porcelain Citadel. Who would like to buy some fruits?
Well, I would like to put some cash into that, and if there are skill rolls to make, either I can make them, although it may be that Modan's better.
Modan might be our guy.
Yeah, I do have. I am pleasant. People like me. I have my.
Oh, that's right.
pleasant.
You are pleasant. And
Yeah.
pleasant gets +2 to reaction. Okay. So give me a D20 roll +3. We'll go from there.
Oh, apparently, I didn't bookmark the dice roller. Let me use that. There we go. Are we still using the roll dice with friends here, or
Yeah.
okay? Sorry, what'd you say? D20.
D20 +3.
Dig it. D20 +3. Let's put my own name in here. I'm not Dallas dice rolling.
Dallas
15.
15, and that's 18 altogether.
Yes, 18 altogether.
Cool. You can buy fruits for about 65 each. Technically 66.6666, but we'll call it 65. So you can buy a sack of odd fruit for 65. However many you want.
For 65.
Yeah.
And okay. Let's see. I am willing to put in.
And you've got a lot of capacity right now. So
Do we? Yeah. I have to be careful because I'm going to have to buy some expensive treatments when we get to the Serai. But 65. So 325 would be. I'm willing to put in 325 to get 5
cool.
things approved.
Awesome. Done and done.
Okay, let me subtract 325.
I'll mark that in the cargo. 5 seconds.
And then 535. There we go. Hopefully I have not overbought, but also hopefully we can sell it. So,
yeah.
And if Phaedra comes back, he can sell it better.
Awesome. And did you want to talk to Astia about the beans?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Wrong thing.
Anything we can do.
Yeah.
Further my bean empire.
Send them off with.
What's that?
How much do you want to send them off with?
As in cash or
Yeah, how much cash do you want to send over? How many how many sacks of beans do we want to get? I think was it like 100 per sack?
I can't remember now. I thought it was.
Beans, magical fruit. Um, oh, they're 50 a sack. That's
I
right.
was about to say I thought it was 50 because I thought I remembered 500 for 10 sacks
Yep.
last time.
So how many sacks do you want to send them off for?
Let's say 5 sacks
Sure.
instead. So that would be what 250, right?
Yeah. It'll be 300 altogether with travel fees and whatnot.
So that leaves me 350.
And I will mark that down. They will probably not get back until first month or green month. So it'll be, traveling over the winter is difficult.
It's long term. It's long term.
Sent 4 or 5 sacks of beans.
Slowly spreading the bean empire.
Yeah, easy peasy, no problem. Yeah, and I think they are like, cool, I'm going to take that money. I'm going to set off right now. I'll see you in the spring. Cool. Anything else you want to do here before setting out to the pool?
Remind me again. I know last time I got from the caravan, I got a scavenger bolter.
I believe so. Yeah.
And what are the just like what are we looking at for stats? And what are if I use that? What's the damage I'm rolling?
Let's see, bolter. Scavenger bolter. That's a D10, I think. Yep. D10 at medium range.
I guess we'll probably stick. I've got such envy now after seeing that cool
gun. that gun is exceptional and exceptionally dangerous.
Yeah, they're not really a commonplace item.
Yeah.
I try.
In fact, since Apate and Magazine are going to be hanging out here, do you want to grab the gun for the caravan and say, or how would you like to handle that? Because right now Apate has the gun. It is valuable and useful, and I'm sure you could.
So one thing is, Apate has not completed their transaction with Adoron to teach Adoron about their dreams yet.
That's correct.
So it's not completely unreasonable for us to borrow the gun back at the moment just because the trail is so dangerous.
Yep, no problem.
And then Modan can carry the gun.
Yeah, and in fact, Apate is probably not great to hang on to it here.
Right.
Not super friendly. Yeah, so whoever wants to grab that, go ahead. Modan, that scavenger rifle actually takes up 2 slots. It's so beefy for you.
The scavenger bolter.
Bolter, yeah.
I just realized it says scavenger bolter.
Scavenger.
Well, I can if I can carry the other gun, then I suppose I could leave the bolter back with the caravan.
Or you can pack it up just in case.
Yeah, put it in the caravan.
Yeah. And what's that other gun called?
That is a radiation. Let me make sure. Not a radiation ghost. Not a radiation ghost. So many radiation ghosts. Wow.
Yeah.
Where we have a radiation gun. It's a prohibited radiation gun from long, long ago.
Yeah.
And so I just take the bolter out of my inventory and it's going into.
Just throw it in a sack somewhere.
In the caravan or where?
Yeah.
I don't usually. Mike usually does all the caravan too. I'm like, I don't know how to work the caravan. Oh, there we go.
I'll throw it in. I'll throw it in sack one.
I see now. Sack one. So prohibited means like I need to make sure I'm not like flashing this or like
Yeah,
I
probably.
I don't want anyone to see me having this necessarily.
Yeah, because like not only is it well, I mean, it is an artifact from long, long ago that is like from prehistory. Um, it is very dangerous, both to probably have and to use.
Mm.
So yeah, people might want it because it's valuable. People might want to prohibit you from entering a place because you have it. So yeah, just be cautious who you show it to.
Don't just wear it on my hip.
Yeah, yeah. If you want adventure, that's a way to get it.
And just to be clear, Modan, technically Adoron sort of owns the gun. Adoron just has interest in using it because I need to trade it for some dreams.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, just as long as it's in the caravan, I'll figure it's better than my scavenger bolt.
Helping us survive. That's
exactly.
a good place.
Get to that point.
Saved our. It was the reason we probably survived the Farfallon incident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It came out the way you did. Yeah.
So the 5 sacks of fruit that I bought, how should I record them?
I threw it in cargo in the cart number 1.
Okay, so you already got that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so cart number 1 has 1 sack of supplies.
And 5 sacks of fruit. I see that.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, still working out the easiest way to manage that, but I think I got a system now. So yeah. I'll do that management in the Mike's absence.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
I think that's primarily it. Is there a market for glass nettle stalks? Just out of curiosity.
Let me see. Is there a market for glass nettle stalks? You could probably find someone to buy some. Let me see if I can find a comparable trade good.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a market for pretty much anything at some point. It's a matter of who wants it and for how much. Let me see. General goods. They'll probably go for like 10 each, however many you have. And that's with haggling and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll just hold on to them then.
Yeah.
I was just curious. You never know when you need some.
You never know when you're going to need a nettle stock.
Okay. So I guess we're ready to go.
All right. That is a 6-day trip. So I will mark that down. Tracker there. Just bumping up against that extra week. Cool. I don't think there's a role for I think one thing that you do that does occur in town here. Let me get my document back up here. As you're kind of buying stuff and hanging out and arranging your bean your bean stuff here. You in the where's my map? In the kind of there's the high houses on the in the citadel proper on the hill in the middle, and I think over the days that you're doing this, there is an influx of porcelain princes coming in. I think both from caravans, and they're going to the Porcelain Princess Serai and the 2 Serais there. But there's a large group of similarly dressed princes coming in from that's going to spend the winter here. And it's not too hard to figure out people, both the princes and the Rainbow Landers and even some of the satraps are like, oh yeah, that is a Clayfire 100 company. It is basically a 100 body prince militia, and they have been kind of holding the line against vomes out there. And there's also some rumor that they feel uh, like the defenses of the Citadel are old, maybe failing, and there's some sort of there's a little bit of politics going on about like how we're going to defend the Citadel when inevitably the golems or whatever fail. So there's a little bit of hubbub there. Nothing dangerous or immediately actionable, but just a little bit of fun stuff happening there. I think the other rumor that you do hear that's not difficult to pick up is that 100 bodies are really difficult to keep together, and I think the Prince multi-body system kind of struggles with a Prince of that number, that size, and whether that's like looked upon favorably or not varies from Prince to Prince. I think other folks don't really have an opinion about it. There's like, weird fucking big Prince. Prince there's a little bit of politicking going on behind the scenes, though, I think. Cool, but yeah, let's head to the pool. I'm gonna write that down. So yeah, it's a 6-day trip. That was all in lieu of an encounter, so no no Clayfire. It's Clayfire. And you can kind of see as you're leaving, you pass people coming, more people than usual coming to the Citadel, just because winter's coming. But yeah, you do. Modan's been here before, so you know the way, and you point out the landmarks and whatnot. Like, this is where we met Fairfalon the first time. Can I just get let me get a charisma roll from Adoron, just for like a luck roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Charisma in the sense of how the gods favor you.
Right. Okay. Give me 1 second.
I think that's just a straight D20 for you.
Straight D20. Okay. So I want D20 and roll it.
Average, right?
Very average.
Cool. I think so. As you approach, you can see Modan, especially, that it is similar to what you came across before. There's half a dozen concentric rings of coated, metallic coated creatures of different size and shape. I think there are, it is a different composition than last time. They've all been completely swapped out. So this is a process that has gone on. I think there are more human/humanoid encased vomes there than there were last time. Maybe like a quarter of them, in fact. And the rest are, anything from, vome groundhogs to, large kind of like tremor worm vomes, like the size of 3 horses. But that's basically how it was before. There's just more humans, more humanoid vomes coated here this time. But the pool is in the center, as it was before, about 6 feet across, right? And it's got that sort of mercury-looking liquid in it. How do you approach?
I'm sure there has to be something utterly wrong with this thought, but it's probably it's the power of the radiation gun talking. I'm like, man, this would be a hell of a chance to just wipe out a whole lot of immobile, waiting to hatch vome.
It would be.
Of course, I don't know what happens if you attack one, if they come out with their full amount of life or what. That's the question. Right now, look, all these vomes, they're going to be hatching. And when they hatch, they're going to be disguised vome. They're not recognizable as vome. Mm. And now we got to figure out how to get a sample. I know last time we got this sample, Phaedra did this whole thing. He had something. He had
He got like it was, like a
container with some
ceramic
tongs
jug.
or something.
I think it was, I thought it might have been you. Someone had like tongs. Oh, maybe it was,
It was him.
yeah, tongs, dip the jug in there,
Yeah.
stuff coats it, and then once you take it away, it's safe to
Yeah.
flake off the outside. And we can say like it's ceramic jugs are easy to come across there. We're not even going to worry about it. So if that's the process you want to do again,
I potentially could proceed forward and immerse the jug in the silver material.
yeah.
Because I'm infected currently, it should not make a big difference.
Yeah, and I don't know if this was told to you before, or I'm sure there was a little bit of conversation in the 6 days on the way. As you approach the pool, it extends little like pseudopods, little tendrils extend out of the liquid, kind of reaching for anyone who is approaching it. I would like an agility roll from you as you do that. And target's 11. It's easy.
Okay. I got a 16 plus 1,
Cool.
so 17.
No problem at all. Yeah, the pseudopods, they kind of approach. I think they even, because of. Have you talked about your infection with your caravan mates?
I would have consulted with Phaedra for sure, just because it is my conclusion based on the statement of the last vome to die that most likely I'm infected, although I do not so far exhibit symptoms. And I would have explained that I am seeking to research treatment. I don't know if I would have specifically talked with Modan because I don't know Modan yet. I might have asked Modan what he knows about vomes, though.
Cool. I think the tendrils they seem a little bit more eager for you. You don't know that because you didn't see how eager they were before.
But Modan would know that.
Yeah, Modan might know that they were paying close attention. But yeah, so that you are easily able to get a vat full of stuff, cork it up, let it settle, flake off whatever's outside, and you have your vat of silver goo.
So, and I'm not avoiding being touched. Like when I dip my hand in the thing, yes, I'm going to allow myself to be touched.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing research.
Interesting. Okay. Well, in that case, then as you do that, it does touch you and begins traveling up your arms, coating your arms, and eventually and Modan, you see this. He has been hit by the liquid and is in the process of being coated by it. What do you do?
It was a blaster.
I think my instinct. I mean, I don't think I'd have any reason to think this was anything but a bad thing. So I think I would either try one of two things, depending on what's handy from the caravan. Like if there was any kind of rope or something, I think I'd try to like grab him and pull him away. Or if not, I'd get a pole or something to knock him away.
Yeah, I think either of those are
away from the pool,
easily gettable, whichever one you like. Which one would you like to do?
I think rope would be my first choice if I thought I could well, I don't know, because lassoing, I don't know, it seems like a skill.
That's definitely a thing you'd have to roll for.
I think it'd probably be easier to get some kind of long pole or the rifle or whatever, something that I could just like, duh,
Knock him
without
away.
touching him, knock him away from the.
Cool. I think that's going to be a strength roll. And I think it's going to be difficult to get him entirely free. Well, let's make it a 15. I think is going to be what we're looking for.
Plus 2. Ooh, 15 exactly.
Ooh, 15 exactly. Cool. So I think how that works is, it does start coating him. You knock him away before he is entirely coated. But there is some on him already. And it is, I think the coating is of a uniform thickness so that as you are pulled away from the pool or knocked away from the pool, you've got like about like an arm's worth of coating on each arm. And I think it like is like traveling around you, trying to like
Hold on. I have some reactions that I can do.
yeah. And
So,
I think because it was a 15, I think the bat spills.
oh, okay.
I told you to use tongs.
Oh,
It'll encase you and you will be stuck here as a statue.
I look around. I am so sorry. I want to uh okay. So before it gets too far up my arms,
Mhm.
I am going to separate the outer parts of my arms, drop them off on the ground, and then form two hands from the stub of my arm,
Fantastic.
and then go back and get tongs and pick up my arms, and we'll carry my arms along.
Great. I don't think we have to roll for that. It's fine.
I think Modan is like, just I don't
It's like
think
a
he's
lizard
really
dropping its
aware
tail.
of like all the things Adoron can do. It's just sort of like, what just happened? What is? I don't know what I just saw.
Cool. So you have like little stubby arms now.
Yep, little stubby arms at the moment.
Cool. So I think as established, you can grab the arms after a short amount of time. The coating hardens and becomes inert. You can peel it off or flake it off or leave it like that if you like, whichever you prefer. Do you want to go back and try and refill the jug? Probably Modan's going to be the one to do that because doing doing with no hands is going to be difficult.
Yeah, I guess maybe I don't know if we have. Do we have tongs or something?
Yeah, we'll say. I mean,
I
yeah.
can't remember what we used last time. So yeah, I'll try to do the same thing Phaedra did. I think I saw. I remember.
Yeah.
As long as you do it pretty quick and then get away, it doesn't get too far up the tongs, and we just wait for it to.
Cool. Let's make an agility roll for you. We're looking for an 11.
Agility.
Oh yeah, you should both have 2 hero dice right now.
Oh, thank you. I can't remember what dictates how many hero dice we get.
You get 1 per session and then 1 per like chunk of time. So I just say 2 per session.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's up to your level cap.
Up to your level. Right.
Yeah, I remember that had something to do with level. Okay, so agility is 1. Oh, a 9.
9. Would you like to spend one of those hero dice to not get coated by goop?
So I'll spend a hero dice.
Cool.
And basically, since Adoron is fairly aware of the behavior of this stuff, he will basically throw something. I was actually anticipating having to defend him, so
yeah, we wouldn't even make you roll for it. I think that'll just
okay.
You're good. Cool. So yes, now saved at the last moment by Adoron. You safely have your jug of stuff. Again, whatever is outside flakes off. And yeah, the vomes there are still. No one's hatching at the moment. And you got your stuff.
So what I want to do is I want to take one of my hands that has the silver on it, knock off the silver, and see if it looks okay to reattach.
Yeah, I think it does after after it hardens
Yeah.
your magic shell. Yeah.
Trying to think, should I keep one? I'm inclined to keep one
Okay.
silvered
And
and
you
just
can even like scrape up the. Oh no! Remember last time we established after you like flake it off and scrape it off, it starts like creeping back towards the pool. So anything that gets knocked off kind of like goes back liquid and starts moving back towards the pool. So I think the stuff on your arm is also going to do that.
okay. So I could probably knock most of the silver off both arms and save just a little tiny bit.
Yeah, and there's no reason you guys can't keep some for yourself as well.
That's yeah, I mean that's sort of what I'm trying to do is to keep a little bit for us.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and throw that in your stuff. A little bit of a
Okay.
bone juice on
How
that.
many Vome statues are around this lake?
Couple dozen.
There's not there's nothing like cameras in this game, is there?
I mean, you just sold a stack of kind of like basically videotapes. Um, I don't think you would have anything like that.
If nothing else, I want to write down. We need to report back, like, because everything here is going to hatch and appear like a normal thing that's actually going to be a Vome,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to like let somebody know, like, be on the lookout for any one of these
These
things.
kind of things.
It could be a disguised Vome. So like if I'll at least write them all down in a book or something.
Yeah.
Descriptions of one badger, one
Two chickens, four people.
one, four people, kind of
Giant
one
worm
two.
thing. Yeah, no problem. You can do that. Um, anything else you want to do at the pool?
Is there is there any difference between the state of different silver statues? Like, is there any outward sign that,
How long they've been there?
yeah, not that we would necessarily know what correlates with what, but just that there are different, like, I don't know, like some of them start forming bumps or whatever, or some of them are slightly different colored silver, or
I think it's all pretty uniform. It does coat them to like a high level of detail, so like you can see it like coats
uh,
like, each individual like hair or fur or whatever.
right.
But yeah, it is once it sets, it's pretty uniform until they hatch.
Gotcha.
I don't think I do, or does Adoron have any objection to testing out shooting one of them and seeing if it just like eradicates it, or if it comes back, like, what starts on small like the badger, so if it does come back to life, it's like, okay, we got a Vome badger, let's get out of here. Because again, like, this seems like, if I don't know if they're vulnerable in this state, but if they are, we could get rid of all these future hatching Vome, which I don't like. In this world, like, these things are evil, right? Like, I wouldn't have any.
I mean,
Would
there's
I have any
not
like
really
moral compunction about
it's not
this?
really
About like,
evil, but it's they're dangerous for sure.
I'm trying to
They're
figure out
not
like
good
if
for business, that's for
I'm
sure.
trying to figure out if I would feel okay doing that, or if I'd be like, I'm not going to slaughter a bunch of things, even if they're bones.
If we do attack them, we should remove the caravan as far as possible away from the space before we do that,
Yeah.
because we do not know how quick their defenses will be. I would speculate that the pool itself might lash out at whatever attacks,
Ooh.
but I do not know what its range is.
This is all a good point. I mean, I'm also fine, like, if you want to pull it back, being the guinea pig of like trying one, see what happens, and then I'm the only one kind of in danger, maybe.
We could do that. I will tell you that in my study, it did appear that vomes have some ability to share information between each other. And if you become as they say, Vome public enemy, it could be deleterious to your continued existence.
This is a very good point.
But the experiment is a curious one indeed.
I'm willing to take the chance because I am my sense of adventure. If nothing else, wants to know again. Like, then we could also at least tell them like they seem to be vulnerable in this state. Send a battalion out here and go wipe the lake or whatever.
Then I shall lead the caravan a half a mile away and await your arrival.
All right.
I'll be on my my beetle horse, so I can at least have some decent traveling speed if I need to run.
Great. I would like to get an agility roll from you.
$14.
14. Fantastic. It was 3d6 or 3d8. I forget.
I don't remember either.
3d8, I believe.
3d8. You're just shooting at tiny babies, right?
Yeah, I figured I'd start with something small again, like, I think you said there was a badger or something.
Yeah. Vaporizes. Yeah, just completely melts them. Yeah. I think so it makes that sort of the roaring that like the radiation noise. When the vomes that you fought were hit by it, it kind of like did the like the Mars attacks, like the flesh disintegrates and the bones kind of glow and fall. That's not exactly what happens here. I think there's kind of like the metallic shell kind of like bubbles and smokes a little bit and then kind of just like splats out. Inside the stuff happened, but I think after it cools for a second, the goop starts crawling slowly back too. So you've eradicated whatever the biological was inside. The goop itself seems to be mostly unaffected and starts making its way back to the pool.
Try something bigger.
I think anything up to like dog-ish size is going to be same effect. You can wipe out a quarter or a third of what's there before you start getting to the big stuff.
Why do I feel weird about this?
But yeah, just bone shooting gallery right now.
I'm gonna try one of the people.
Okay. Let me roll a couple of dice there.
The adventurous spirit in me maybe get the best of me.
Whew, yeah, same thing. There's probably like some settings on the gun, and crank it up all the way, and it goes. Can I get an endurance roll from you? Just an easy one. Just looking for like a 7. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. The guns does seem to like be getting hot after using it for a period of time. But yeah, you can continue popping bombs if you want to.
I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. I would definitely like, as long as things are going okay, try to take some time, let the gun cool down, not just be like boo 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 boo. I don't want to damage the gun or myself.
Yeah. I think let me find the actual thing here. I think the people size ones pop just as easily as that first one. Once you like get a dial in on exactly how those go. And you start getting to the like horse size ones and the ones like the giant like Kind of like did you were you around for the like giant centipede attack early on?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, there's like this like a 12-foot long like centipede worm thing. There's a couple of those. They look like they might take more than a couple of shots. Um, you can definitely still take a whack at them if you'd like to. Um, or you can, do you want to press your luck and start hitting the bigger ones, or do you want to kind of save
How
that fight for later on?
how many have I taken out at this point?
I mean, I think you've taken out like 80% of them. It's just like the places are radiated, number one. Kind of blasted. And so now it's like just a weird like sculpture garden with like, a dozen or half a dozen of these larger things kind of like in different poses around the pool.
I feel like I've done some good, and I should probably let's. I just I'm gonna ride back to the caravan.
All right, yeah, cool. Great. Yeah, that worked out fantastic for you.
I'll kind of report to Adoron. I'm like, well, 80% of them are gone. You're muted, sir.
Was there no reply from the pool?
There was no reply from the pool.
Hmm.
I decided not to press my luck on the bigger ones in case they were as durable as they are in life, and then I would have had to like run or shoot a couple of times, or I just thought it best to leave those be for now.
Indeed, in any negotiation, it is helpful to keep some things back.
I also scratch all the eradicated ones off my list of what's around the pool.
just these big ones left.
Yeah.
Cool. If there's nothing else you want to do there, we can just zap you back to the Citadel. And the way I've been doing the discovery is like it's this one's 6 days away, and I count that as 6 days there and back, not each way. The other way seems a little bit onerous. So yeah, it's technically a 3-day trip out and 3 days back, but cool. So yeah, the winds of winter are starting to blow in a little bit. When I think let me see. Let me make a little roll here. And you are not you are not solitary. Like when you get to the you talk to people talk to you. And I think there are a few satraps left that kind of hold up there. It's primarily prince, like 80% princes right now, like 15% rainbow landers and a few satraps. But I think one of them that you've met and you have an idle conversation with kind of asks you like I thought I saw you here just a few days ago, and we thought you were taking off for the somewhere else before you came back. Did you just decide to turn back, that it was too dangerous to travel, or what's going on?
Is this addressed to one or the other of us, or just us in general?
Just you in general, yeah. Whoever would be talking with a guy in a spacesuit.
Oh, we knew traveling was about to get real hard, so we just did one last foray out, looking to see if we can make any discoveries, and also cataloged what's around the. Does this guy know about the pool? Or is...
I don't think it's a secret, but it's not. I don't think it's common knowledge.
And so, the thing about like the disguised vomes, is there any reason like I would not want to tell people about that?
I feel like you've told some folks last time. You were like,
yeah,
it's the thing
that
happened.
I know we definitely told
dangerous. I don't think
we
people
should
know where the
tell
pool is or anything, but I think there's at least rumors going around about it. And the satraps were the ones that bought the No, never mind. It was the princess that brought the original
Mm.
jug of stuff. So yeah.
And I'll make at least reference. Like I was also doing some recon. There's a new breed, or breed, not breed. There's a new type of vome that can pass for human, and I know there's this one area where they collect around a pool, and so I just took a catalog of what was there, so we know what to keep an eye out for. Like if any of these things come around the Citadel, they might not trigger the Citadel's defenses against the
Mm.
vome. So
Can I get a charisma roll from you?
sure. I mean, this seems like information is good for everybody.
Yeah.
Charisma is 3. That's only an 11, unless my pleasant somehow plays into that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, pleasant. Yeah, pleasant definitely. So 1 to 3, yeah, 13. Um,
Or is it +3 to reactions? I don't remember.
your pleasant's +2.
Um,
Yeah, it's not strictly this is more like
oh,
charisma
dig it.
as luck
Yeah.
as well.
Cool.
Cool, and that's actually better for you. Yeah, I think there's so this guy is let me give him a name and a color and everything. This is it's a red satrap. This is 231 satrap frozen. Um, and yeah, so there's um there's no expression because it's just like a big like spacesuit with a a faceplate. But there's kind of a pause, as if they're considering something, I think. Um, and they say, I heard the princes were working on something similar to that. I don't know if they've been out there or uh, yeah, the rumors going around that um, there's some some metal goo that has some interesting properties that they're very like almost it feels like they were maybe bragging about it for a couple days and then got real quiet and secretive about it.
Interesting.
Um, and kind of, I think the princes are trying to play down the rumors a little bit that that stuff is out there. Um, I think it's just curious.
Well, I do think this is information that benefits us all. We're all endangered by the vome, and I did have a personal experience. The first time we saw this pool, a dog-like creature emerged from one of these cocoons and appearingly cured of his vomeness. Later found out it was actually a vome that just did not look like a vome and was not detected as a vome, and that's when we realized the true malfeasance of the silver pool and what its purpose is, which is to coat and then just almost like evolve vome to the next higher cycle where they can't be detected.
I mean, no doubt that is good information to have. I wonder if that material can be used to create some detection system, or I mean, you clearly know more about this than I do. You don't believe that? I mean, not that we know where vomes come from or why they exist, but this doesn't seem like a creation of the vomes. They're pretty just hostile. They don't seem to be capable of producing something like this. Is that your understanding?
There's no way for me to be sure, but in my experiences, we'd also come across another Vome woman in our travels who was being drawn to this pool. So it seemed as if the pool somehow beckons Vome to it to come, get covered, emerge newly undetectable, and then go back about their Vomey business. This is all, of course, speculation with my very limited experience with it.
Of course. Of course.
That is how it seems to me, that they're called to the pool, evolved into this more deceptive form, and then back to whatever they were doing.
I've been back and forth between here and the Spectrum Palace more times than I care to count. I've seen a lot of things. I've never seen vomes coordinating cross, I don't want to say species, but I've never seen something like what you're describing. I wonder if it seems like maybe it's some sort of.
They called it Mother.
They called it Mother.
They did.
We encountered a whole caravan of very different Vome, all seemingly working as one group, who attacked our caravan.
I wonder what other applications that liquid might have.
That I do not know.
Well, if you come across any, I'm sure you can get a pretty penny for it. I wouldn't want to go out there myself, wherever it is.
What this jug of it we just got? Who did we get that for? I can't remember what.
That was for the satraps in like the kind of like ambassador kind of over in the Serai.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are not, a unity. There are there are factions and whatnot within them, so they don't all know each other.
I just couldn't remember who we just retrieved a jug for.
Yeah, but it was for the satraps in the Last Serai. Cool. Well,
are you saying? I mean, are you saying that you would be interested in buying some of it if we were to get some?
Oh, I mean, if you were foolish enough to go out there, I'm sure I could get a good price for it. Especially now that the princes seem interested in it.
How good of a price? I mean, just wondering if it'd be worth the trip.
I mean, I wouldn't even. Well, let me think. There's Destiny 43, who would go to. Wow, that's a great question. Probably, I could probably get 500 cash for it. We could talk it up, but that's. I mean, I don't know how much of it there is, where it comes from, what exactly it is. It seems like a reasonable starting price for a rarity.
We'll see. I'll talk to my caravan mates. I mean, of course, traveling is getting very, unfortunately, grueling at the moment.
It is.
But,
I'm here for the winter, so
we will keep your interest in mind. I'm just thinking, since it is an area we're familiar with, and might be an easier task for us to get in and out now that we've dealt with it, a few times, and we'll see what we can do for you.
All right. Well, you know where to find me. And he'll be hanging out at there's the Twin Serais here, so he'll be at the satrap side of that.
And that whole conversation was privy to everybody, right? That wasn't just with me. Yeah. So I don't need to tell Adoron he was right there, right?
Yeah. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a 9-minute break. Come back at 25, and we'll go on from there. Pause recording.
Is that like a deal with the devil?
I
had a deal with the
crossroads. All righty. So that was that.
I mean, honestly, at this point, it could be Adoron at the crossroads. Home in training. I mean, not that's what I'm hoping for, but
Cool. What are y'all doing next?
I mean, I know it's not the best time to travel, but I'm like, this getting some more of that goo seems like an easy money. I mean, nothing is without risk, of course. The first time going to the pond was where we met Farfaral. That's where we met the demon dog that hatched, well, the Vome dog that we thought was something, but relatively.
might I suggest that instead of returning to the pool, let me explain Phaedrid's mercantilist calculations.
Excellent.
If we are to retrieve this silver goo for the satraps in the Last Serai, before a certain date, we shall receive increased payment. Thus, Phaedrid would like to accomplish this task.
Oh, absolutely.
So the other thing, however, is that no one has specified a specific amount of silver goo.
Good
And the
point.
fact that we have a container of silver goo is not in the calculation of any party. And as long as we can safely, though I do not know if this is true, divide the silver goo into two separate containers, then perhaps we can have two sales instead of one.
This is brilliant. You're right. No one, they didn't tell us how much. They didn't say bring back a jug of silver goo.
It's true.
As a matter of fact, I think the goo we gave to Princess, I think was just like a smaller container. Don't you think
I
it was?
think it was a jug.
Was it a jug? Okay.
Yeah.
I am not expert, and obviously Phaedrid is the master of negotiations for mercantile purposes, but it does seem potentially a viable approach.
Agreed. Perhaps if we just get two smaller containers and divide the jug so that it just looks like here's the container we got, as opposed to here's half of a jug we got. Why is only half a jug?
What do you mean?
There is, of course, risk in the transfer process.
I can't remember when Phaedra and I did this. I don't remember if we experimented at all. If the goo still tried to envelop us after we'd taken it away or whatever from the.
I don't think you opened up the container after you got it.
Right. So then, yes, good call, Adoron. We don't. In the transferring of it, it could try to seek us out or whatnot, like the pool did. But we should be able. Perhaps if we. I don't know. If we were able to, if we maybe have two smaller bottles with similarly sized mouths, or we could just put the mouths right together and then bloop, 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 cap. I'm still some risk, but at least then we're not just pouring it out into the open air.
You want to try that?
How does Adoron feel? You are muted,
You're
my
muted.
friend.
I am willing to participate in this experiment. If you wish, or I apparently have less fear per se of the material. I shall hold the bottles if you wish to remove the cap so that we might try this.
Sure, probably safer with both of us. Let's try it.
Yeah. The liquid inside is still liquid, um, and you're able to transfer it relatively easily. Um, I think you do notice, like, if you spill a drop or like if you see it kind of sloshing around, it does seem to want to tend to move in the direction of where the pool is. But it doesn't seem like it's trying to attach itself to you or anything like that. It's pretty easily dividable. It does seem to be still like pointing true north.
Yeah.
Ah, this is very interesting. It could be like navigation gear, which I have learned of in participating in caravans. We have a navigation, but it goes to the origin of this collection of vomes. Perhaps if we put one in a clear crystal container, we could use it as a compass.
Interesting, indeed. Good thoughts all around.
All right, you got your 2 buckets of goo. What now? Do you want to try and sell it here or head over to the Serai?
I mean, do we want, if since we have it, should we try to sell one of them to the satrap here who was super interested? Because it wouldn't really take any extra time, right? We're here.
Yeah.
So
Right.
before we head out.
I believe that the satrap was very interested in it, and I believe that there is a political positioning going on. So indeed, there might be some value in doing it. What shall be our story to explain that we suddenly have it?
We can simply divulge that, I've already told them that in our last journey, we saw, we cataloged, while we were there, we did pick some up.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just discussing whether to part with it or not.
Very good.
So let's do so.
Cool.
Might I propose a slight adjustment, however?
Sure, of course.
Is it possible that the caravan could start outside the city before you enter these negotiations? Because it would be inconvenient if additional buyers wished to acquire more of the goods that they might possibly assume we have.
Yeah, sure. I mean, of course, I will tell them I'm not going to tell them we have more than one sample, but still good thinking, just in case they assume we have more on the caravan, regardless of what we say.
Cool. Do you want to sell it for the price quoted, or do you want to spend a little bit of time to haggle? Maybe bump it up. Haggling will add a day.
Are we on a time crunch delivering to the other people?
You will, I think, just make it like if you spend this day and then.
So instead of spending a day, though,
yeah,
Modan has a mount.
Yeah,
and Modan's mount is probably faster than the caravan.
Yeah,
Good point.
So in that context, if the caravan leaves the day before and then Modan
catches up.
his action and catches up.
Yeah, a little dangerous, but I'm willing to.
Yeah.
Or I mean, honestly, I'm willing. I'm willing.
Well, and we're
just
very
not that bad.
We could just take the 500. I'm fine with that.
Right. But we're also close to the city, so the danger probably is further down the trail most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, right. What the hell? Yeah, I'll stay behind and see if we can milk a little extra out of it.
All right.
Why not?
Go ahead and give me yeah, this is what does it say? Yeah, give me a roll.
With what exactly?
With I think it's gonna be charisma. Yeah.
Yeah, dig it. That's my strong suit. Ooh, how about a 22?
22. Yeah, he'll give you 1,500 for it. But he's like, look, I talked to some of the other guys. Um, this stuff is hot. Um, word has gotten out that your caravan has a line on it. And I think there are people who are going to want to acquire more of it one way or the other. So I can give you 1,500, but you're going to need to either get out or lay low, like stat.
That won't be a problem. And honestly, caravan's already left. I hung out just to because we talked, made a relationship, and like caravan's already left.
All right. Well, I will. I'll get this in the right hands for sure.
I mean, it's all for the good of us all. The more we know about this and how we can use it against the Vome, the better for everyone.
I don't know if my guy is interested in vomes.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, this from what I understand. I mean, he didn't leave a lot slip, but from what I understand, this is like old tech. Um, yeah, it was definitely not originally designed for what it's being used for now. And I can get a good price for it. So here's your cut, 1,500.
Pleasure doing business with you.
I hope not to see you around.
I'll be getting on my beetle horse and heading out of town right now.
Fantastic. Great. Looks like we are on the road. My flow chart. Great. We are traveling to the Last Serai. I will go ahead and do the supply spending for you. um, we have enough capacity to carry all this cash, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's going to be 6 supplied. We have 6. We got 1 sack of supplies. We're going to need to buy some supplies, I think. Do we want to just buy a sack just to make it through and assume we're going to get through easy, or do we want to get?
We just made 1,500. Let's stock up. Let's not have to worry about it.
Great. I will spend that money. That's going to be
get like what? Double what
we
think
double.
We need?
Yeah.
Just to be in case of weird emergencies.
Well, it also gives us mobility if circumstances require we leave someplace.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because at this point, we're starting to be impactful of politics.
Yep. Cool. So we're spending a week of supplies. Got an extra cart full of supplies just in case. We're gonna need a misfortune roll.
I'll make it. 8. Or is that a 6?
Yes, that's a 6 with weather.
Okay. Oh well, no, I was which dice am I supposed to roll? Is that a D20 or D20?
Oh yeah, D20. Yep.
Okay, yeah, then 8 or 6 with weather.
Because of weather, 6. Yeah. So 2 things. In your kind of hanging out and talking and everything, you hadn't really heard any more talk of like vomes being all around. Now the kind of legion has come into town. And in fact, the rumors have been swirling around like the countryside's overrun with them. And Legion has basically been saying like, I mean, we do our job, but I do my job, all 100 of me. But like it hasn't been any worse than usual. In fact, it's been kind of light actually. Interesting enough. And true to that, on the road between here and the Last Serai, you don't really see a lot of Bomish activity on the road. Um, I mean, it's maybe they don't like the bad weather either. It's hard to tell. Um, but yeah, the whatever rumors are out there have been whatever rumors you started have been blown a bit out of proportion. Um, the weather is rough, though. It is getting colder. There's a lot of rain happening, storms coming in, and it's weird, kind of alternating like heavy thunderstorm and then like weirdly dry and like dust kicks up again after the rains. Um, there are many lightning strikes ominously close to the road slash caravan. Um, and I think I would like each of you to pick. Let's see. I'm gonna need a roll. I'm gonna figure out which one it is. Um, hmm. I think I'm gonna need an endurance roll from both of you.
Now, does something like having Traveler as your class help? Something like that?
Not for this, no.
A 7 from me.
Ooh.
So mine is a total of a 10.
All right.
I've used my Traveler yet this game. And yet I've bumped it to expert.
You're going to be an expert forager. Let me find the good table to roll on here. It's gonna be fun. Great. Can I get each of you to roll 2d20s for me?
$14 and a 4.
Ooh, cool.
8, 17.
All right. Actually, I'm going to need another d20 from Modan.
15.
15. Cool.
So much rolling.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So the lightning storms have kicked up some biomantic dust, and you all are going to get some fun mutations from that. Modan, evens or odds?
Evens.
Evens. Your over the course of the next few days of travel, your lips become very, very large, like 10 times the size, just like a peach on your face.
That's not good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let me roll a 4 for you here. But you also as these lightning storms are kicking up around you, like you can feel before the lightning strikes. Like you have a sense for it. Like you can be like, okay, 3, 2, 1, bam. Like you have this electric sense, and you get a new trait. Your trait is electro detection. Your this whatever has been affecting you has given you this new eerie new sense to be able to detect electricity.
All right. Where do I put the swollen lips? Is that a trait or
It's not. It's just cosmetic.
so
So
let's put it under like looks?
yeah, looks or notes or whatever you like. Yeah, that's just a cosmetic mutation. Um, Adoron, however, um, whew, um, over the next few days. So what is your core like?
Um, Adoran's core is so first I'll say Adoran may not know what Adoran's core is, but Adoran's core is a more solid. It's either just purely a like a computer process, or it could be a biomechanical process. Like it could be like the main thing is it's the thing that has the ability to create the shapes, and it's the thing that has the memory, and it's the thing that I give like there's a certain central structure that if it got attacked, Adoran would, cease to function. But if you want it to be mechanical, biomechanical, I'm
Do you
open
feel
to it.
like it would be more likely that his core would change shape, or that his outer? So I don't want to take away from your clay body as clay, or
Right.
that you would develop hardening of that part.
Um, so one option would be that some part of him stops being uh so I can think of several different ways to do this. One is that some part of him becomes frozen in a particular form,
Mm-hmm.
and either that's because the material has become frozen or because
Oh.
he's lost some pattern. Like I could lose patterns, I could have new
Mm-hmm.
patterns. So, for instance, it could be like whenever I signal to create a new hand, maybe it produces 12 fingers instead of five or something. Like there are different ways that that could manifest.
So the effect you're getting is strange bones erupt from your skin in odd places,
Okay.
and you don't really have bones.
Yeah.
So it is either that your core has started to like extrude these spurs, or your clay flesh has started. Maybe it has like been corrupted by this effect to like tell your clay flesh to like harden out in these spurs.
Right.
Sounds better to you.
Um, well, how do we want to mechanically handle this? Should this be like a burden
It's just going to be
or
a trait, I think.
just going to be a trait? Okay.
Actually, yeah, it's just going to be a trait. I don't want to make it a burden.
Okay. Um,
Oh, actually, you know what? It is a bad effect that you're getting from it. So maybe it should be a burden then. Yeah.
yeah. Another option is I could have a trait that gives me a penalty to charisma.
Hmm. Let's go ahead and make it a burden, because burdens can
Okay.
be taken care of more easily than traits.
Okay. Okay. So we'll say
Like we'll call it like core forming bone spurs right now, and we'll decide what that means.
okay. Yeah, well, I think the part of my internal geometry calculations have been
Yeah,
finished.
yeah, and like that's like things start sticking out of
Yep.
you in weird places, and you can't suck them back in.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I set an intention and then the shape is formed from the commands.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever worked with any 3D modeling
Oh yeah,
software.
definitely.
And I don't know if you've ever produced the non-Euclidean, like a non-Euclidean teapot or something. You're like,
Right,
oh,
right.
that's really interesting.
Like you teapot. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Spiky teapot. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, spiky teapot.
Very, very popular item to make. Okay. Adoron feels very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm not crazy about these giant lips either.
um,
Look
cool.
out, lightning. Yes, he told you.
uh, Everyone else weirdly unaffected. But you make it to the Serai with little else. Let me double
Oh,
check. Make sure I'm not. Oh, let me. That's not true. I have one more thing to
yeah,
roll.
one more roll.
Yeah. Where's my flow chart? There it is.
A counter roll, maybe?
Yeah. My two. The fine Serai. Hmm. I think this is as you're approaching the Serai. Um, I guess both of you, because I think Modan, you are your electro sense is tingling, right? Something is kind of pulsing nearby. It's not a storm, but Adoron, you you definitely hear um, those garbled voices starting to kick up a little bit.
Right.
Um,
From
it
the green monolith.
it's similar, but not the same.
Oh, not the same one. Okay.
Um, and I think at some point, like maybe a day before you get there, this um, I think like as you're traveling, this form kind of coalesces um, beside you, and it kind of like it's like fading in and out, and it's kind of rambling in the same cadence as the voices, talking about like the moon, like falling, singing weird snippets of songs, um, uh, promising that it can remove your woes, and I think it kind of like floats along with you. This is this like wispy, like static ghost. And I think at one point it kind of fixes Adoron and says, I can remove the corruption within you.
So Adoron will turn to Modan and say, please continue the caravan. If I am not at the Sarai within 3 more days, assume that you have uh, ownership of all of my parts.
All right. Is there any?
And you can, I think you can both see this
Yeah.
static ghost.
I am about to undergo an experiment with ancient technology. You may
Ah,
wish to be nearby.
fair. If that's what you wish, then that is what I shall do.
So
Best
Adoran
of.
will wait a little bit for the caravan to get a little bit further away.
Mhm.
And then Adoran will turn back towards the ghost and say, please continue.
Um, and as its mouth is not moving, it's translucent and glitchy. Um, its mouth is not moving as it continues its sort of rambling, but you can see the space where mouth should be kind of fall into a too wide grin, and it reaches inside you. Let me see. I have here. I'm gonna roll that. No good. 3, 4, 6, 7. Great. Yeah. There. Yeah, I think you can feel it. kind of pulling at your soul almost. And the grin kind of twists a little bit as if it's getting irritated or angry because it can't quite get a hold of you just yet, but you can feel it like reaching inside with both hands, kind of like
Right.
tearing and grasping a little bit. And the mumbling becomes like this just like hateful litany. It's like,
Right.
give it to me, give it to me. Um,
So Adoron will say, I'm sorry, this does not seem therapeutic. Excuse me. And then back away and change into a four-legged creature and run.
a chase. Great. Yeah, interesting. It definitely does attempt to keep up with you. And is there a specific? I think we have a specific thing. Yeah, there we go. Um, Let me get a d20 plus agility.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oops. 19.
it got a 21.
Oh, maybe I
Yeah.
need a hero dice.
Oh, yeah. You want to use a hero die? Go for it.
Yeah, so it's a D6.
Yeah, it's a d6.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, it keeps up for a while, sort of clutching and ranting. Um, but yeah, it soon falls behind, and you can feel it like you can almost feel like where you didn't like how does Modan or how does Adoron like it is sort of common knowledge that everyone has like body, soul, and personality. How does Modan kind of, or shit, how does Adoron kind of like conceive of what their soul is like?
So Adoron hasn't had to think about this much because Adoron was born to be in service.
Mm-hmm.
And this will give Adoron new things to contemplate. Um,
Yeah.
Adoron is aware of their physical
Mhm.
construction or
Yeah.
their physical, and how they were born. And I'm hypothesizing that, like, Adoron doesn't know how old they are.
Right.
Uh, who knows? Because Adoron's not human. Um, but Adoron never really thought they were the same as the living
Mm-hmm.
or the other creatures, like the organic creatures that weren't, you know, born in a vat.
Right.
And so now Adoron, I would imagine that Adoron feels some sense that, oh, there are parts of me that can be pulled apart, and yet my physical form might still be there.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
It's
it.
a new
There's almost
concept.
like a burning or an itching, like in like a place you didn't know that you had. That's
Yeah.
not physical, right?
Yep.
And like I think like maybe it's like it gives you the sense like, oh shit, I am a person. I do have a soul. Like this is like the this pain actually is a little bit um it's a little bit heartbreaking, kind of.
Mhm.
And maybe a new thing for Adoron or a new thing in your current consciousness.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when Adoron approached the frog creature that I
Mhm.
traded the arm to, um, Adoron did that out of a sense of empathy.
Yeah.
Adoron does have empathy, but Adoron has never really had to think about where that empathy comes from. It
Mhm.
was just, I have empathy, and and so now Adoron feels a lot more temporary than Adoron felt just a
Mhm.
few days ago.
Interesting. Interesting.
Because to a certain degree, Adoron's like, oh, what happens if I do this? Oh, that's interesting. Now it's like, oh, I could lose something.
Yep. um, cool. And you're able to catch up with the caravan, ditch the static ghost. Um, like mechanically and in the world, like every person has a body, a soul, and a personality, the Hakaba.
Yep.
And so, yeah, but maybe it's the first time that you've realized it for like, or you felt it.
And Adoran's not an adventurer. This is just ever since Adoran got damaged in the as an accident of a particular vomish attack,
Mhm.
Adoran has lost their place in society because Adoran doesn't know who they worked for,
Right.
and then B, Adoran doesn't remember all the protocols, so Adoran's like, I don't know what's going on, and now it's becoming more personal. Everything is becoming more personal
Mhm.
and scary.
Do you communicate any of that to Modan or the rest of the caravan?
Yes. So Adoran would actually ask Modan some questions if that's possible.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, Modan,
Did your experiment go well? I mean, you're here, so I'm guessing that's
I
somewhat well.
survived. I have questions. I had experiences that are outside my knowledge banks. And it seems to me that I have observed, you have a very easy flow of your life energy. You are as you are what is called expressive.
Good to
I
know.
conjecture that this means that you understand the relationship of the parts of the life and the life energy, what the textbooks call the ba, the ka, what's the other word, ba, ka, and
Hakaba.
hakaba. I believe that I may have just experienced this relationship. There is a part of me that seems injured, but it is not physical and
Hmm.
it is not intellectual. What is this other part?
Does Modan like? Does he have an inkling on this? Does he have a feeling about this?
Um,
Explain what those three things are again.
yeah,
You said that's a
Hakaba.
concept we're all kind of
Yeah,
familiar
it's
with
like
in this world.
ha is the body, ka is the soul, and ba is like the personality. And those are all like three separate things.
We're complicated beings, and that we have the ha, ka, and ba, and yet they're paradoxical in that they are separate. But are they? They're also kind of all one. I mean, I don't feel like I'm three beings, but I guess in a way I am. So it
Have you
creates the paradox.
have you experienced suffering in your ka before?
I don't know that I specifically have. I mean, you ask the question, and now I find myself not knowing the answer and perhaps needing to search deeper. This is definitely food for thought. I mean, I'm obviously aware of the three facets, but yet at the same time, I never really think of myself in the terms of three separate things.
Nor did I typically, but now I must. As a point of
Indeed.
protocol, I would suggest in the future that we avoid radiation ghosts.
Sounds prudent,
I do not
but
know that all
possible.
of them are such poor merchants, but this one failed to deliver any reasonable exchange.
Oh, that's unfortunate. If you're going to be a radiation ghost, at least it would be nice to come out with some form of enlightenment, somehow improved. However, maybe just the knowledge that you gleaned from that encounter is in itself some kind of growth.
That I had not thought of. It has not occurred to me that an exchange could consist of the loss of something.
Mm.
That creates much to ponder.
The life is complex.
I do not believe I have enough databanks to contain all of this complexity. I shall have to figure out how to arrange my data in the future.
Cool.
That's a crazy table.
Yeah. Like a lot of stuff going on inside people. Great. I think that is the last. So we had our little encounter. You're just on the edge of the. I think as you're pulling into the Last Serai, like the weather is turning from wet and stormy to like the first kind of like freezing rains of the season. And there's the Last Serai has this kind of this like electromagnetic, and like Modan can definitely sense it this time. It's like this kind of like static sphere around it, and there's like dust kind of collects around it, so you can kind of like see the outline of it, and it definitely does seem to protect from the weather somewhat, not entirely, of course, but it's almost like it's weather effects are lessened within the sort of auspices of this sphere. So it's you get in and it's perceptibly more pleasant. It's still not great because it's winter's hard coming. But you can definitely tell, like, as you step through, like, oh, like we are off the road. Cool. Do you want to do anything immediately at the Serai, or do we want to cut it here and kind of do all that stuff next time?
Do we know if we're planning to stay here a while, or are we gonna just drop something off and bolt? Or
So we are at the beginning of Snowbringer. Travel is grueling and freezing. You can attempt to travel during winter, but the next 4 months are going to be extremely difficult, and there's basically no one on the road.
It sounds like a really good opportunity to do some more training for another rank in my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, let's break here as we kind of like enter the Serai, and like leave winter outside. In here the weather is beautiful. Even the orchestra is beautiful. Yeah, and we'll get everyone together and start doing all the in-town stuff. We might just do like the winter in a session, just like fast forward through all that stuff. Yeah, we'll figure out how that works next time. Yeah, cool. At the Serai.
So Adoron's learning merchant from Phaedrid, and so I'd like Phaedrid to be around to sell some of the things that I bought,
Yes,
so that Phaedrid could sell them, but also to work on my merchant skill.
Yeah. Oh, and you both spent a week on the road, so it's 100 XP each. And take another 50 for dilly dallying around the pool for a bit and doing some more exploration, I guess, was still happening because you're doing that. So yeah.
So 150, you said?
Yeah, take 150. Cool. Let's do a little bit of stars and wishes. Peace, go for it.
Yeah, that was as always fun. Stars for both of you, for playing and running, as always. It was especially me still feeling like I'm getting my grassland legs. Yeah, it's fun because I spent so much time on the road with just Phaedrid, so it's neat to
Yeah.
have a twofer with Adoron and get some more history going on there. Uh,
Well, and when Adoron acquires their pavilion, they will intentionally invite Modan to hang out at the pavilion because Modan
nice.
is a an attractive conversationalist, and that
I,
will bring in more people when you have available time.
perfect.
And
Wishes.
Anything you would like to see happen in the Serai over the winter?
so, oh, go ahead. Sorry, you're
Yeah, I
doing.
was gonna say nothing's really jumping to mind. It's just like this game's such a kind of so wandering whimsically that it's just fun. There's not a whole lot of like, oh, I really want to see this. I mean, obviously, still the overriding goal establishing my bean empire.
Hmm. And you
That's
could try and establish. I mean, this is the big city right now. Like this is not as big as Violet City, but it's a
another
large
good
outpost. So it might
make
be
some more
another place to.
inroads in my bean hub.
Yeah, Green Hub.
Yeah, but no, I just it's all good and
Cool.
fun.
Green Hub. Cool. Thank you, Teal.
Yeah, and obviously very enjoyable. Uh, I continue to really love the setting because it just and I love it the way you're running it too. The setting itself is very inspiring, but you're also very open to what inspiration, where we are led by the inspiration. So I really appreciate that.
Makes my job easier.
Yeah, well, that's good. And Heath, the it's really interesting to interact with Modan, who is like each of the characters have been very different, and so Adoron's been trying to like, okay, new biological to interpret, and then seeing how Modan makes decisions, because Phaedra makes decisions largely based on money, not completely, but largely. So Phaedra was fairly easy to figure out after a short while because Phaedra was based on money. Um, but Modan's more from Adoran's perspective. Modan is harder to predict. Adoran does not, and of course Adoran's getting more experience with it, but it's still like, oh, what happened? It's almost like with Phaedra, if I gave Phaedra something, I probably know what Phaedra would think to do with the thing. But if Adoran gives Modan something, Adoran's like, I give Modan something, and then I try and figure out which direction it's going to go. Not because you're not consistent, but just because Adoran doesn't understand how Modan makes decisions. And that's really, really intriguing. And as a protocol expert, Enron's like, oh, how do I determine the protocols for Modan? Can I determine the protocols? It's like, I don't know that there are protocols that, you know, tell me exactly how to behave relative to Modan.
Mm.
On the other hand, what Adoron is seeing is that Modan is um, trustworthy in motivation. Modan seems very trustworthy in terms of their motivation. Unpredictable in terms of their decision making, but trustworthy in terms of the motivation, which is important. That's part of why I stopped to see what the radiation ghost would do because I knew what it was. And I was just like, okay, is this radiation ghost giving me an honest exchange or yeah, well, yeah. Although, as Modan pointed out, I actually did gain quite a bit from it.
Yeah, yeah.
So uh, I love it when you get to like one of the downsides to Dungeons and Dragons and things related is after you've done them for a lot of years, you're like, okay, seen that before. And a lot of times it just ends up being numeric stuff
Mhm.
also, which is not very interesting. But the way we all are playing is just you just never know what odd space of I mean, some of these things were so totally unpredictable that
Mhm.
just I really enjoy this kind of play. As far as wishes go, I will say that I want to get my pavilion set up, and so there are three things that Adoron is concerned about primarily at the moment, besides learning being how to be a merchant and stuff like that. Thing one is Adoron's trying to understand the past. Just a small goal. Um, Thing two is Adoron, of course, is trying to figure out what to do and how to think about the vomes, both Adoran's own infection, but also the vome from the pool, which seems different.
Mhm.
And Adoron is sort of, because of there being a synthetic creature, they have a like Adoran's less afraid of the vome and yet also aware that they might be more susceptible to the vome too.
Mhm.
But just very curious, and also like how do the Vome relate to the past? Because Adoron's trying to learn more about the past. And then the other thing is Adoron is starting to be intrigued by the politics that we're seeing just the edges of. And so I'm hoping that hanging around in the Last Serai we can start to get a little bit of, whether it be gossip or, I mean, I already know somebody now that one, that was a satrap, I think,
Mhm.
that I saw the last time. Did they actually blow up when the tent blew up that they went into?
They went into, yeah, it was like a little meeting booth, and it
Yeah.
exploded when they went in. Yeah, after they went in.
Okay, so they didn't come back out.
No, they did not. No,
Interesting. And are
but it
satraps
was
multi-body?
Sagan.
Are satraps multi-body?
No, they are not.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yep.
So
And they are. It is rumored that there are a set number of them. Like there's only like 360 of them.
oh wow, okay. So that was sort of a big deal.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so Adoron's starting to get intrigued by this. I'm a protocol person, so it's like, oh, look, all the neat politic maneuvering. Not that Adoron's a politician, because they're not, but just just getting interested.
Yeah. Cool.
And we have a whole winter to hang out
Yeah.
and learn people's, internal stresses.
Yeah, we had 4 months to just do stuff.
Yeah.
I know, and worst comes to worst, we can see what it looks like on the road if you decide to brave that. But we'll get there when we get to it.
I think as long as we don't get chased out of the Last Serai, probably we're not going out in the winter.
Yeah.
Just guessing.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't know how much time we were going to spend where, but yeah, I really enjoyed just like seeing how stuff comes up and kind of rolling with it. Um,
Well, we're definitely not. Phaedron's a little bit predictable, but none of the rest of us are.
yeah.
Nobody else I've seen in this game is where you can just say, "Oh, probably this will happen,"
Right.
which hopefully you're enjoying as a storyteller
Oh
because
yeah, yeah. This is super great. And with your payment from the goop, you will have enough to set up a milk run if you want to experiment with that as well. So that is also an option to think about.
and what is a milk run?
Once you found like oh, we can travel here and buy stuff and here and sell stuff and like find a good trade route
Oh, okay.
instead of just doing that manually. You can say I'm going to invest some cash in that and then let that run by itself, and then when you come back to a place, get your cash out. And there's tables to roll on and things to happen. It is not without risk, but it
Sure.
automates a part that could be tedious.
Right. So Heath, how much money do you need to start your bean empire?
10,000, you said, right?
Uh,
Is that what
10
you-
10,000 to set up a milk run. Yeah.
Oh, that's to set up a milk run. Oh, okay. So you were going to do a milk run to beans. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
just a
And
big
I mean,
automated bean circuit.
yeah. And technically, I think
Gotcha.
at this point, you could do that at the Citadel. But you're not at the
Yeah.
Citadel. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes next time. Awesome. Yeah. My wish is to kind of similar, like to explore like what this game is like when we are in a place for an extended period of time instead of traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
Like how that changes things. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because
Yeah.
traveling is really interesting, but there are such complicated factions in this world
Mhm.
that the possibility of cross-factional and inter or in was it interfactional we'll call it stress.
Yeah.
Just seems very, very ripe with possibilities.
And we have just barely scratched the surface of anything.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
that'll be a good time. Awesome. Anything else before we shut it down?
Just had a great time.
Cool. Anyone watching? See you next time.